you want to get started writing on LinkedIn? The reach and engagement over there right now is fantastic. So if you want to build your personal brand, then writing on LinkedIn could be a great choice. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain how you can get started and what you should know on this platform. And no, it's not just for finding jobs. But first, before you start writing on LinkedIn, you want to make sure you're clear about who you're writing content for and what the return on this content is going to be for your business or your brand. And that starts with optimizing your LinkedIn profile. I've talked to a number of LinkedIn experts over the past few months, and they gave me some great advice for my LinkedIn profile page. I'm currently using my LinkedIn profile page to find clients. And if you want to do something similar, here's what you need to know. Treat your LinkedIn profile page as if it were a landing page rather than a virtual CV. And like any good landing page, the content above the fold is the most important. Remember, when people visit your LinkedIn profile, they're only there for 5 or 10 seconds before they move on. And chances are they're visiting it on their mobile device. So you need to make sure you have a really good headshot for LinkedIn, something that looks professional. Head over to Canva and create yourself a banner. In the banner, put a clear call to action about what you do and how you help people, and explain what the next step is. So you can see in this case that I'm pitching my coaching services, and I've explained that people can DM me the word content if they want help. Then you're going to customize the section below your banner and include a booking link or a link to a relevant page on your site so they can take the next step. Do this right and you're far more likely to find more clients with your LinkedIn profile page. And even if you don't want to find clients, if for example you want to grow your email list, then just edit the banner and the call to action button accordingly. Now if you'd like more tips about optimizing your LinkedIn profile page, I have a longer video on the channel which I recommend you check out. LinkedIn Premium costs approximately $30 per month. It's not the cheapest, but I found that after I subscribed, the reach for my content went up. I also got access to some additional tools, like this button here, which gives viewers or visitors a way of booking an appointment with me. And I also got access to this featured section. On the featured section, I can include multiple links to websites and to other projects that I'm working on. But in this case, I wanted to keep it simple because I'm using LinkedIn to connect with potential clients. So I've included one clear call to action that people can click on if they want to book a call with me. Now, if you want to customize your LinkedIn profile even further and get more value from it, I have a longer video where I go into extensive detail about what you need to do. So check that out. When creating content on LinkedIn, you have a number of different options. It's pretty easy to use. Just click on Start Post, and then you can just paste the contents in from your writing app and upload your images. You also have additional options for creating a poll and for adding documents and PDF carousels, which I'll show you in a few moments. I find that polls tend to work quite well at the weekend if you want to engage with your existing audience. If you click on the right article section, you can navigate to a WYSIWYG editor where you can write an article much like a blog post. And this is useful if you want to write something longer that's not going to work as a status update. I usually publish one article per week on my personal profile at the moment. Whether you're uploading a carousel or creating a poll or an article, LinkedIn also has some scheduling features built in, so you can just click on the clock and click on schedule for later. Typically, it's good practice to publish one piece of content per day. This isn't X, so you're not going to publish 6, 7, or 8 times. You'll just overwhelm the algorithm and your reach will drop down. And at any time, you can go into view scheduled posts and you can quickly edit it. The LinkedIn editor for writing longer articles is pretty easy to use. You will have to source an image outside of LinkedIn that you're going to upload. So unlike Medium, there is no integration with Unsplash. You'll put in your H1 and then format and write your article as normal for the web, adding H1s, H2s, and so on. And you can also include links to external resources. LinkedIn's blogging platform even has options for adding an SEO title and meta description. But to be honest, if you're writing long form content on LinkedIn, chances are you want this content to resonate with your existing audience and followers rather than ranking in Google search. If you want it to rank in Google search, you may as well publish it on your own website. And then when you're ready, LinkedIn will ask you to tell your network what your article is about, and you can click publish or schedule it for a later date. After going through many of the big accounts on LinkedIn, I found that the top creators aren't really writing a lot of articles. They're more posting every day on the feed. So this could be a good way to stand out if you have some long form content that you want to share. So what should you write about on LinkedIn? Well, rather than posting boring, bland, generic updates about a company, write something that's practical and helpful for your followers. You could write a post that explains how you did something or achieved something in your business, and then provide some tips for followers who want to do the same. You could write a listicle about tools you use every day. You could describe what you did in your business this week, what worked and what didn't work. You could run a poll to engage with your audience and to get some content ideas. You could explain how you helped a customer or a client and then include a call to action for followers who want to achieve the same results. You could write a listicle about great books that you've read related to your business, courses that you've taken, or tools you use regularly. You could write up about some skills that you've acquired over the years and how you apply them in your business or with your work. Or you could write stories related to your offer or your audience and publish these once a week. I find stories really do help with driving up engagement. You could also publish in-depth guides that your followers can follow if they want to achieve some end result. You could also experiment with carousels because these take up more real estate in the LinkedIn feed. Or you could write comparisons, comparing one product to the next or one way of working to the next. Remember to mix up content formats on LinkedIn. Try carousels, try short posts, try long posts. You can even use LinkedIn to blog. Using the analytics, figure out what's working so you can do more of that. The LinkedIn algorithm changes all the time. That said, posting content consistently and trying different content formats is a good way to grow your account. So on Mondays, I typically post something that's about my product or services that I offer, and I include a clear call to action that asks followers to get in touch if they want to order or buy now. On Tuesdays, I'll post an image or a carousel, which I find these are really good for engagement. On Wednesdays, I'll find a top post from another creator that I'm following, and I'll click repost and add my own thoughts. This is a good way of getting in front of their audience. On Thursdays, I'll usually post a practical tip. So it could be a roundup of tools I'm using or some writing advice or something that a follower can put immediately into use. On Fridays, I'll write a longer post, usually a story post that describes something I did in my business or a lesson that I learned. At the weekend, I'll sometimes post a poll, and then on Sunday evening, I'll usually put up a tweet pic using the Tweet Hunter tool that I showed you. Now, this is my current posting strategy. Like I said, I may change this depending on advice I get from other LinkedIn creators and what's working right now based on my stats. One of the best ways to grow your LinkedIn account is through commenting. So find 5 or 6 different accounts in your niche or niche and follow the account holders. Here are 5 creators that I'm following who are in my niche, some of which I'm already working with. Charles Miller runs Copyblogger and he produces content on LinkedIn all about personal branding. Justin Welch built a thriving 7-figure business and he regularly produces content about solopreneurship or working for yourself. Laura Acosta also produces content about a personal brand. Yasmin Alec produces lots of content about building business on LinkedIn and all about how the algorithm works, and he has a deep understanding of the platform. And Ryan Musselman is a content coach for solopreneurs who I've talked to several times. Now these are the creators that I'm following because they're in my niche or niche. And here's what I do. Anytime one of these creators publishes something new, I'll go over to their post and I'll comment on it. I'll try and leave a comment that adds value rather than just saying, hey, great post. And I'll also spend 5 or 10 minutes going through the post and replying to the commenters on that individual post as well. I found that this approach, commenting on the profiles of bigger accounts and also engaging with their followers, really did drive up the growth of my account. Here's another example of a high-performing piece of content from Dickie Bush. He's talking about what he learned about copywriting over the past few years and of course put the results into a neat looking carousel. Now the takeaway here is that if you're publishing on LinkedIn, writing about some achievement in your job or something that's happening in your company or some boring product feature isn't going to get engagement. The top creators on LinkedIn instead tend to produce content which is helpful or informational or gives something that readers and followers can apply to their own business. So put that into practice if you're going to create something like Dickie Bush has done here. You can do all of this directly in LinkedIn, but there is a tool that can help you. That tool is called Taplio. It's custom built for creating and scheduling content on LinkedIn and also for engaging with other creators. It's not the cheapest tool out there. Taplio starts at $49 per month if you take out an annual subscription, but it is a time saver if you want to grow your LinkedIn account. I do have another video on the channel where I review Taplio in detail, but suffice to say, you can build out a list of accounts that you're following, like the ones that I showed you a few moments ago, and then Taplio will show you all of their latest content and you can reply to those accounts directly inside of Taplio, and you can even engage with people who have connected with bigger creators. It's a good way of growing your LinkedIn personal brand if you're getting started. It can be challenging to figure out what types of content to write and publish on LinkedIn each week. The thing is, if you want to grow your profile on LinkedIn, you need to publish content 3, 4, and 5 times a week. It was only when I started doing this that my account started to grow. So what should you do? Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can come up with content ideas. Firstly, you can follow the top creators in your niche, see what they're creating, and then try and create something similar with your own voice. You can also use ChatGPT. So tell ChatGPT who you are and who you're creating content for, and ask it to come up with some content ideas. That's what I did with this prompt. I said my audience is solopreneurs who are struggling to create content, and ChatGPT outlined 10 different problems that they could potentially have. For example, building a strong network, time management, self-promotion, financial planning, and so on. And then it gave me a number of different ideas for pieces of content that I could write or create. I could of course continue to prompt ChatGPT to expand on each one of these content ideas, but this is better than staring at the flashing cursor or the blank page. Another option is to use Taplio. It has a viral content feature. Basically, you can create filters inside of Taplio dependent on your niche or niche and interests. And once you've done this, Taplio will show you the top pieces of content in your niche or niche. And you can click on one of these pieces of content, click on edit, and rewrite it in your own words. And Taplio will even say if this is too similar. Carousels are pretty popular on LinkedIn right now, and they tend to get good engagement. These are basically PDF presentations which you can design in Canva. The PDF presentation works well because it looks good on a mobile device, and it can supplement whatever you're going to write in your LinkedIn update. It can be time consuming to create a carousel inside of Canva, so I'd recommend that you write all of the content in your writing app of choice before you open up Canva. Another tool that I use to create carousels is Taplio. That's because I can write the content directly in Taplio, customize the look, feel, and font and theme, and then download it as a PDF or schedule it directly with Taplio. If you don't want to use Taplio, you can also use Canva to create your carousels. Head over to Canva and type in LinkedIn, and you'll find lots of different formats and templates that you can quickly use and customize. For example, this template looks pretty good. It wouldn't take me too long to change or customize the colors, and I could paste the text in from my post into this carousel, click share, download it as a PDF, and publish it on LinkedIn. If you're getting started writing on LinkedIn, one thing to take note of is the line break and readability of your posts. Follow any of the big accounts and you'll see that they use lots of formatting and spacing tricks to make sure their content is readable. So usually it's a couple of words for the first line, followed by a line break. Then you may find bullet points and other line breaks. Here's another example with a compelling hook, followed by bullet points that breaks up this particular piece of content so it's more readable or engaging. To help me with this, again, I'm using Taplio. That's because I can write content on the right hand side and upload images, and it has support for adding rich text, for example putting text in bold and italics. But perhaps more importantly, here on the left hand side I can preview what the post will look like on desktop and mobile, and this will help me figure out where to include more line breaks and formatting. Basically, think of it this way: chances are somebody's reading your LinkedIn post in between meetings at work or on their phone while they're on the go. So you really got to capture their attention with the first line and with your formatting. And I'd also recommend including a clear, strong call to action at the bottom of your post. Perhaps you summarize what you've just said, and then you ask a simple question which is easy for readers to reply to. Or if you're pitching your product or your service, here's where you're going to do it. You could say something like, DM me the words content if you need help. Here are a couple of content types that are working quite well on LinkedIn right now. I've been following Yasmin Alec for quite a while, and he regularly produces and publishes content about the LinkedIn algorithm and how to optimize your profile. Basically, he'll do things like ask a question and then provide some answers to the question that he's just asked and include an engaging picture. And that's a good tip. If you want your content to take up more real estate in the feed, include a picture. And usually a picture of a person like Yasmin or Jay will get more real estate in the LinkedIn feed than a standard text post. Another content format that works well on LinkedIn are text-based pictures. This is something Charles Miller uses to good effect. Basically, he takes his tweets and content from other social media networks and puts them on LinkedIn. And he's doing this with tweet pics, which you can use for free on tweethunter.io. Find one of your top performing tweets, paste it in, and then click screenshot. And TweetHunter will create an image that you can customize and upload directly to LinkedIn and to other networks. LinkedIn Analytics are pretty easy to use. just navigate to profile views, and then you can see how many people have viewed your profile over the past 30 days or 90 days, and this will help you figure out if it's working or not working. Suffice to say, if you're a LinkedIn premium customer, you will get access to more metrics and analytics. Using the post impressions analytics section, you can see which one of your posts are driving the most impressions, and if your content is trending upwards or downwards. And you can also click on any one of these posts to see who's left comments. If somebody has left comments on one of your posts, take a few minutes to reply to them, because this shows the algorithm that you're interacting with other LinkedIn users. That brings me to perhaps the best way to grow a LinkedIn account. So big content creators like Ryan here have large followings, and often the only way to get in front of their large followings is firstly by leaving comments on their posts when they've got something new to say, and secondly by engaging with other commenters on their posts. So Ryan, who I've worked with, he posts content once a day, and usually I'll take a few minutes to go in and write a thoughtful reply and then like it. But I'll also take a few minutes to read through what all of the other commenters are saying and seeing if there's any way that I can add value. It takes me about 30 minutes to do just this, and after speaking to many top LinkedIn content creators, I found that this is how they grew their account. So if you're serious about using LinkedIn, find 3, 4 or 5 top accounts in your niche or niche and get into a habit of engaging with them and also with their followers regularly. If you want to grow your LinkedIn account, there's no way around it. You're going to have to spend time commenting on big accounts. This is what's helping me grow my impressions for my posts. Using Taplio, I was able to create a list of top accounts and add it to an influencers list. And then when I click go, I can see all of their posts and write my responses directly here. So this does save me quite a bit of time when I want to engage with other people. Now, if you don't want to use Taplio, you can still use Publer to schedule your content on LinkedIn, but it doesn't have the same features for commenting and for interacting with other people that Taplio has. But it is useful if you want to plan and schedule your content in advance. That's an overview of how you can write on LinkedIn. Have you started writing on LinkedIn? Is it helping you grow your personal brand? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you found this tutorial helpful, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'd love to record more content like this for you.